Hi guys. Oh my god, I've been trying to make this video so many times. I keep messing up and like going back and changing it. I'm like, okay, just be yourself, Mandy. People don't want perfection, they want authenticity. So this is gonna be what it is, and I can't help it. So yeah, I'm just hanging out in my dance studio. Right here you can kind of see that's my Reiki certificates. So I don't know if I talked to you guys about this yet, but I'm a Reiki practitioner and I work on women that need help on a mental, emotional, spiritual, physical level. So if that's something that interests you and you live in the area of actually anywhere in New Brunswick or around New Brunswick, definitely contact me and I'll help you out with that. Another really cool thing that I wanted to announce is that I created my very own podcast. Yes, my very own podcast. I'm like so nervous yet excited. It's called Hello Goddess, and I uploaded it and it's already on YouTube. It's been a few weeks on YouTube already, but today it showed up on Spotify and I'm still waiting for it to be approved on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, basically. Basically, the podcast is going to be about all of my passions, so spirituality, mindset slash personal development, wellness, health, everything within those spheres. And I'm going to be having guests. So a lot of my friends are already within these fields. So I'm going to start with the people I know, and then I'm going to branch out and try to contact people that are experts, hopefully in certain fields like that. So definitely, please go check out my podcast. It's already on Spotify. It's called Hello Goddess. And yeah, share it with your friends if you like it. And I'll keep creating videos on YouTube as well. I like both platforms, definitely. So yeah, today I wanted to make a video about spirituality. And I kind of hinted that I wanted to talk about this for like a week or two now. But I was putting it off because I was like, oh my god, like I don't know what to say. There's so many things to talk about when it comes to spirituality, and also it can kind of be like a sensitive subject depending on who you are and how you relate to spirituality and even religion on a larger sense. Basically, I wanted to make these I wanted to make this video to show you that you don't have to be intimidated by the word spirituality. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing to be spiritual. Actually, spirituality, the way I see it, is basically the relationship you have with yourself and the relationship you have with the universe at large. So just to give you kind of an idea of what I've been through, I had my spiritual awakening when I was 21. I'm 28 now. But if I look back in time, like when I was younger, I was always spiritual, but I wasn't aware that I was spiritual. I didn't know what that word meant outside of the context of religion. I remember even as a child, I used to sit under trees and close my eyes and try to connect with the energy of the wind, or connect with the tree itself, or try to silence my thoughts. And when I think about that, that's kind of crazy because I didn't even know what meditation was at that time. It's almost like I had this innate knowing that this was healthy and this was good for me. Yeah, I remember even hanging out with my friends and we would pretend we were witches. Like, I actually believe I was a witch. And we would make potions and we would try to I remember we would try to see into each other's past lives, and all of those things that are kind of becoming more mainstream with the New Age movement now. I was already into those things when I was a kid, so it's so strange. And like, I remember I was kind of a nervous flyer, so I used to pray to the goddess Aphrodite. Of all the goddesses and the gods, like Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. Anyways, I used to talk to her all the time, which is really strange, but like, I think it was really natural for me to gravitate towards those things. It was very, yeah, it was natural. To give you guys a little bit more context, so growing up, I was also a big fan of science. So probably like after that, I had a phase of like spirituality, and then I had my teenage years where I was an atheist. Like I was completely into science and physics, and just I was so passionate about these things, and I ended up studying science in university. So yeah, what happened is that when you go really, really deep into physics, you start to really question your own reality. When you get into like quantum physics and just like thinking about the universe, the concept of the universe, like what's on the other side, why are we here, why is it here, what's going on, like it's such a big mystery. And so what happened is when I hit 2021, I realized that there are things that science cannot explain, and it simply wasn't enough for me anymore. What I think happens is that there's a group of people that they have the science and they're satisfied with that level of living. They're fine with where they are. And that's beautiful. If you feel fulfilled with your concept of reality and you don't need spirituality, there's nothing wrong with you, really. But there's a lot of people, myself included, that the scientific worldview was just simply not enough. Like I needed more. Naturally, I was drawn to philosophy, to religion, to spirituality, because I was looking for answers. I was looking for the deeper meaning in life. And the craziest thing, like I can cut right to the chase and tell you right now, nobody really knows. That's the craziest part. But there's so many beautiful philosophies and beautiful ways of life that if you find the right one for you, your life becomes a lot more richer and fuller and meaningful. So for a lot of people, and again, I've been through that as well, what makes them go into spirituality or philosophy or anything like that is a very, very difficult experience. So in my version of spirituality, we call this the dark night of the soul. So when you go through this experience, your identity, let's say this is your ego, your identity, your personality, it breaks apart because the experience you live is so traumatic, is so hurtful, that it breaks your sense of reality. So after that, you kind of feel like lost. Usually that's how it starts, your spiritual awakening. You feel completely lost and confused and like, why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. And so within that framework, you start looking for answers. People look through books, they look through documentaries, they look through like online, they ask people, they ask their pastor, they ask their friends, like they just want to like recreate their sense of self, their sense of the world and security through spirituality. And so yeah, that's what happened for me. Like I discovered a lot of beautiful spiritual teachings through Dr. Wayne Dyer, Teal Swan, Marianne Williamson, to name a few. And it literally changed my whole perspective on life. Like I can't thank them enough in my heart. Like, so if I was to sum everything up and talk about the different teachings, there is a lot of common threads throughout different authors and teachers. So basically what the teachings are saying is that our true form, our soul, is made up of pure love and light. So all the spiritual practices that exist are all for us to align with love and to let go of fear. And fear is kind of like darkness. It's the absence of love, whereas darkness is the absence of light. So once you align with love, everything becomes a lot more peaceful. You feel like that sense of connectedness, that sense of oneness with people. You get to have deeper, more meaningful relationships with others and with yourself and with the universe or God or Creator, whatever you believe in. And so that's really important. And I believe that we come here, it's kind of like a school. We come here as human beings to learn difficult lessons, and that's why it's not always love and light and rainbows on the earth. It can be really difficult and dark sometimes. But if we really trust the universe that everything is happening for us, not to us, we can learn the lesson and understand that everything is happening for our own growth, I should say. So yeah, just be open to what's happening around you and understand that everything is happening truly for a reason. There's also a really important aspect of your consciousness that is important to connect with, and people call that your higher self. So that aspect of your consciousness has no judgment, is pure wisdom and pure love, and when you connect to that aspect of yourself, you make decisions that are aligned with the best possible future, the best possible timeline for your life. So yes, we have an ego as human beings that is full of fear, judgment, and anxiety. But through the practice of meditation or yoga, you can learn to push that away from you, kind of like take a higher perspective and connect with your higher self and send love and healing to that aspect of you that is fearful and stuck in your own ways. Oh, geez, stuck in your old ways, sorry. And so yeah, it's a very enlightening process, and it's really, really cool to start noticing where, like, okay, I didn't realize I was so fearful or judgmental in these areas of my life, and now I do. And so now I'm more and more loving, more and more peaceful. And ultimately, the goal is to self-actualize, is to become the greatest version of yourself. And that doesn't only include spirituality, it's physical health, emotional health, it's personal development, it's your relationships, your culture, everything in your life. You start to really align to things that bring you a lot of joy and happiness. So how do you know if you are on the right path? How do you know if your spiritual practice is working for you? You know by the way you feel. Your emotions are kind of like a guidance system. If you feel love, joy, if you feel peace, if you feel alive, that is your body giving you the sign that you're on the right path. And if you feel fear, if you feel closed off, if you feel anxiety, anger, guilt, shame, all of those things are indicating that you really need to reconnect with yourself, with your higher self, with your version of God, and develop that practice of love and peace and letting go and forgiving yourself and others. So as you can see, this is really deep stuff, and it's a lot more than just crystals, and it's really like transforming your whole life, your perspective on things. And so I'm gonna go deeper and maybe talk about things in particular, like different things within spirituality in other videos. I just wanted to make one that was more general and explaining my perspective on things. So yeah, thank you so much if you're still watching. I love you guys. I'm always sending you the love. And remember, what you send comes back to you always. Treat people with love, respect, and care, and you're going to receive that right back. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and sending you all of the Reiki energy. Bye now.